Hello guys, this is Mike from Deathless Gaming. Tonight I'm going to be talking to you about how to use an anti-infantry max. So if you don't know what an anti-infantry max, that's basically maxes with machine guns that can't kill armor, even light armor, but are really good at destroying heavy assaults, light assaults, and pretty much infantry. So whether that's scatter cannon, the Mercy, the VS, I'm not familiar with their gun, but they do have their own version. And why should you know how to use this? Well, believe it or not, you can keep your max alive a lot longer than you think if you use the right tactics and you know how to abuse the situation. So let's talk about loadouts. So choose the faction specific ability of your choice. I'm kind of confused as to what the VS is. I know the NC have that really OP shield that you can just ram into people with. I know the TR have charge. Lockdown, I've tried it. It really isn't as useful as they say it is, and I feel that needs to be buffed. So if you're TR, I suggest just using charge. Flak armor. Make sure you have flak armor. You really only use nano auto repair in situations where there are no engineers, but when you're going against anti-infantry, you really want to be near engineers, and it's really not useful to be in a situation where you're one-on-one with everybody. So make sure you got flak armor on. That'll protect you from explosives, reduces the damage from them a lot. Two guns should be the same. So if you have a Mercy, or this is a TR gun, so if you have a Mercy, make sure you have a Mercy in your other hand. If you have a scatter cannon in one hand, make sure you have a scatter cannon in the other hand. That way when you press the buttons at the same time, they're both firing same weapon, same projectile speed at the same person. People have tried it, and it's really inefficient to have, like, let's say, a pounder in one hand and a Mercy in another. It just really doesn't work. Avoid anti-vehicle loadouts. Ravens really aren't that good against infantry. I know pounders, you think about it, oh, they got good splash damage, but when you try to pound a group of people coming through a doorway, it sometimes doesn't work out for you when they get close quarters. Bursters, I can't speak about how well it is for infantry since I haven't used a burster loadout, but you probably will just make more XP just farming aircraft, which is what it's really good at. So where do we fight? Well, point holds. You want point holds. Point holds. You have engineers, you have medics. I mean, pretty much, if you're in a large platoon, you want to fight out point hold. And that's one of the things about being an anti-infantry max. You always want to be in large platoons. That way there's always going to be medics, always going to be engineers, always going to be heavies watching your back. Biolabs, another really good place for anti-infantry maxes. Generators on amp stations, also a very good place, as well as amp stations, tech plants as well. Always be with your friendlies, so wherever you go with these bases, make sure you're moving with either a Zerg or a 96 on 96 fight. Tactics. Let's go into that. Wait for them to come to you. And what I mean by this is, as an anti-infantry max, you are way more powerful in a closed space than you are in the open. So don't be trying to farm people at like tech plants or amp stations going, woohoo, I can shoot everybody inside. And then some guy just rockets you with his decimator. It just doesn't work out for you. You want to always be on a point hold or a generator or something that's of significance where the enemy wants to take it and where friendlies are going to be backing you up and where you can just farm every single person coming through that doorway. So be in a place where the NG is shielded from fire. So you should always have an NG on you. If your best friend can be an NG, that's even best. It's very good to have that relationship of NG always with your max. So maxes can't be selfish. They always have to be as well protecting their NGs. So don't be out in the open or in a position where the NG is not going to be covered by your large body. So you always want to make sure the NG has somewhere where he's not getting damaged, because as soon as your NG goes down, you go down. Support your allies. Keep the enemies from getting in. Very important. This should be your main focus always. Maxes almost always tip the balance of the fight. 90% of times in biolabs and in point holds, Planetside 2 pretty much becomes Titanfall. So you always want to be trying to keep your max alive and trying to keep the area that your max is holding secure and keep people from pouring in. Don't let your allies just get mowed down and then you run away. Bad idea. Block the doorway if there is, let's say you have 3 or 4 NGs and they're all trying to repair you at once and you're like, well, I'm not getting fired at. Then I suggest you should actually move into the doorway and block the entire doorway itself and just farm people as they try to get in. You don't want to do this unless you have 6 NGs or 3 or 4. And the reason for that is when you're blocking a doorway, it's very easy for somebody to just pull out a Decimator, kill you right then and there, and then nobody's going to be able to repair you, nobody's going to res you. So you want to be very careful, and you want to make sure that you always are at full health when you're blocking a doorway. Again, watch out for rockets. A lot of people like to take you down, so you're going to be the primary target. C4, watch out for those guys hovering over you. So, farm forever. What do I mean by this? 3 minutes for most point holds is when usually the fight ends, so that can be problematic. But in biolabs, fights can go on for so long where you will probably get up to in the 20 to 40 kill range if you have a good amount of NGs on you. And you can just be literally, I've done it before, farming for 20 minutes at the exact same place because so many people are trying to do 96 plus on an extremely tiny space like a biolab or some base on Izmir, like the Octagon, or, Waterson's Redemption. And you can just, destroy everybody. It is incredible, so always listen to your NG, make sure he's being covered from fire, and you will stay alive for a long time, and you'll always have 750 resources to pull new max. That's pretty much it, guys. This wasn't too in-depth, but I hope it did give you some ideas of how to support your allies with an anti-infantry max and how to farm with them. Ask comments if you're interested in anything. If this video can be improved in any way, please tell me. Like, subscribe if you like my videos. I'll be doing Planetside 2 War Phase Battlefield 4 videos in the future. This is Mike from Deathless Gaming, signing off.